yeah, you got to ask yourself, is it worth going? And that's probably the biggest thing you want to go ahead and ask yourself. Hello there, Internet, and welcome back to Geeky Ent. And on this episode, we are going to be discussing LA Comic Con and comic conventions that are slated to be still happening this year in 2020. But yesterday, we did receive some news that here in Southern California, Los Angeles Comic Con, formerly known as LA Komikaze, was sponsored by Stan Lee back then, but now it's just an independent comic convention. They released that they are pursuing and going ahead with having the comic convention this year. Now, usually it is the last weekend in October and is held at the Los Angeles Convention Center. However, it is pushed back to December 11th through the 13th at the Los Angeles Convention Center. And Mary, what do we have to expect here? Because there are some differences when it comes to how this convention is taking place this year.
Well, from everything that I've been reading as far as with how they're doing the whole convention, it's totally going to look different from what we're used to if you've ever been to a convention before. So, because of everything going on with COVID-19, they're doing the best that they can, at least from, their guidelines or what they're saying that they're doing to keep up with the guidelines stated by the CDC as well as what the governor of California wants everyone to do. So, with that said, it is a 3-day event for that whole weekend. They're looking at doing it in 2 sessions versus it being a full day, meaning that when you purchase your tickets, you have the option of going to session 1 or session 2, which is later in the afternoon. And between the 2 sessions, there's like an hour break. And during that time, they're going to use it to make sure the facilities are clean. From what I'm reading, they're also cutting ticket sales by 50%. They rented out the full LA Convention Center to ensure that they have the space, to ensure the 6 feet social distancing, and everyone, whether you're entertainment, vendors, and or guests, you have to wear a mask and make sure that you actually keep that 6 feet distance. How or whether or not that's going to be successful really just depends on what they do when you're actually at the show.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at a little bullet points here from the show, and um, it's I don't know how this is going to play out because one, a lot of people like to plan their days when it comes to attending a panel versus shopping on the convention floor, and with having 50% capacity, that's good for people that don't want to interact with big crowds. However, it's split into 2 5-hour sessions from what I'm seeing here. So you're going to have a morning and an afternoon session, and you get to pick and choose when you want to go. And they're going to be shut down. I'm sorry, they're going to be closing down the convention center for about an hour to disinfect and clean the whole entire convention center. And I don't know how much or how many crew that's going to encompass, but we'll see how it goes. Now, it is pushed back to December, so the from the health aspect, December, January, February, that's getting closer to the regular flu season. And last year, when the whole global situation happened, it was around November is when the China and Japan and all those countries over
Yep.
there in the Eastern Hemisphere started seeing cases of COVID. Didn't hit here in the U.S. until February, March.
Allegedly.
I heard the earliest case was mid-January, the first presumed case. But the problem is with the situation, you couldn't decipher if it was the regular flu, if it was allergies, if it was just a variation of the common flu that's going around, or if it was the global situation. We call it Rona, but we will not call it anything else. But when it comes to having a convention, the main question that I ask myself is it too early to be having this? Now, there's good and bad. When it comes to the three big conventions here in Southern California every year, LA Comic Con is on the bottom of that whole
Yeah.
hierarchy list. It's in general, over the last few years, LA Comic Con has not been uh,
Organized, to say the least.
organized. It has not been run smoothly. You have convention employees, and then you have people that work for the Comic Con itself, and then you have volunteers. And between those three companies, there's no smooth
There was no
communication.
communication
So
whatsoever.
you get told something is over here, and then get told that same thing is in another location. It's not run smoothly. Versus San Diego and Anaheim WonderCon, those companies are run by Wizard World, and it's more mainstream, more. It seems like it's more prepared for the actual large crowds. Now, there were rumors back in the day that WonderCon, those that convention wanted to move out of Anaheim, but they ended up renegotiating. They were going to move it to LA. I'm thankful they didn't because getting in and out of downtown LA is very rough. Um, but let's talk about that for another video. This one here, it's with 2 5-hour sessions. The biggest thing that's going to take a hit are the panels. Now, there's no panel listings as far as I'm aware of, but say if you want to go to a panel in the afternoon, but you only have a morning badge, you can't attend that panel. So you have to consider, if you want to see panels, which ones are you going to go to? Now, in terms of seating, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a lot of spatial seating. I'm not too familiar with where the big convention area is. Maybe you know the because I know Hall H is the big one in San Diego. Uh, Anaheim's got the arena is considered the big one, but I think in LA they just use a hall
Yeah, see,
center.
that's the thing with LA. With previous conventions, whether it's been LA Con or various other ones that I've been to, it's not just one hall. That convention will either rent out the East Hall or vice versa. So, as far as with th- them taking up the whole space, like how San Diego does or Anaheim does. LA has never done that before. So this is actually something new to them.
Right. This is also going to be the first big event, from my understanding, that's happening here in California in general. Now, a lot of conventions across the world have been canceled. However, here in California, especially in America, California is the number one state that's highly infected with the global situation, I guess you can call it. But have you seen any price points yet, Mary? They just basically said that there are proceeding and going ahead with having Comic Con this year in LA. But I don't think they've announced any panels yet, no vendors, nothing like that when it comes to it, unless you have any more information besides what's been discussed already.
Well, so far they haven't given out any information as far as with panels or anything. It's too soon for that. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think the only way that they could successfully have a panel session is if they do like we've seen with other cons in the past where they're just putting those up live on the internet as you go. That's the only way to get that to work, especially with the whole different time zones. Now, as far as with ticket pricing, let me get back to you on that because I didn't see anything about it in the email. Now, as far as with pricing, I'm sure it is on the site. I just have to do a little bit of research because as of this time tomorrow, which today is Monday, the 28th of September, tickets are expected to go on sale tomorrow. So there should be some sort of pricing out. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, so ticket prices are going to be potentially revealed tomorrow. Now, with everything being 50% capacity, I'm assuming that the tickets are going to be 50% the price, I believe I think in the past couple of years, it's been like maybe 40 to 50 bucks a day, depending on which day you attended. So I'm going to assume that the ticket prices are going to be probably in the $30 range. Uh, but you're only getting 5 hours worth of convention floor time. Now,
Yeah, they didn't
the,
give any.
no, nothing yet. So, I mean, for
No.
the casual person, that's not bad to have 5 hours of floor time. They may even nix live panels and just do virtual panels just because they don't want to have a big congregation of people at one area. Um, but for us, I know that when we go to comic conventions, we like to actually dig through comic bins. We like to uh, interact with the vendors and have more of a hands-on approach when it comes to looking at products and stuff. So uh, when it comes to actually searching and buying products, there's going to be major revisions to that too. I'm assuming that you're not going to be able to just go in and search through a comic boxes and sift through those. I know in particular there are like 3 to 4 vendors that we like to purchase trade comic books from, and that requires also digging through boxes, or sometimes they're just out on a table where we can just point and say we want it, or we just take it off ourselves. So that's going to be affecting how businesses run too. So the main questions that we have here are: one, is it worth going? In my opinion, that's probably one thing that we want to know. And as our viewers, go ahead and leave a comment. Remember, we keep active comment systems here on Geeky Ent. So when you see something here on Geeky Ent, go ahead and drop a comment below so we can go ahead and keep that active, and we do respond to your comments. So when it comes to having that different notion of that different mentality as well of going into this thing knowing that you're going to be restricted on what you can do, is it worth going? And also being on a time restraint, that's another aspect of it. uh, what else is there? I know that people are really dying and itching to go to Disneyland, and I think when Disneyland opens up here in Southern California again, I think that's when it's going to be deemed a safer atmosphere
Yeah.
to have like conventions and concerts and everything come back again. Now it is rumored that Disneyland is going to be opening up its doors
For the
very
holiday
soon.
season.
They're saying by October. Uh, they're already planning to do that. I do know that this is how crazy and how desperately people want to go to Disneyland, is that downtown Disney actually had to shut its doors down and kick people out because they reached capacity. Now, for those people that haven't been to downtown Disney, there's honestly not much to do there. It's a little walk, about,
No.
it's probably like what, a quarter mile of just shops and restaurants and stuff like that. Um,
And
but
hotels.
in hotels, but honestly, there's not much to do there unless you have a purpose to go there. So I guess people really want to just have that Disney magic when it comes to that. So I think when they go ahead and get things going on, then that's when the conventions and everything else can start coming up. And that's when, me personally, I think it'll be better going into a convention hall, because you never know what could happen when you go outside your house or, living area and touch something just by accident. Same situation here. Somebody may not have something. And when you have a big group of people going into a convention center like this, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Uh, this one affects Mary more so than me. But when it comes to your cosplay, you have to wear a mask. So that's going to affect a lot of different cosplayers. I'm pretty sure you might see
Yeah.
some clear Invisalign type masks, because a lot of masks don't go with their costume designs.
Everyone
Um,
just dress up like the Winter Soldier and you'll be good
yeah,
to
just go
go.
with the Winter Soldier.
Or a Shredder.
I'd personally go with Shredder, or you can go with a Sith assassin or whatever you guys want to go with. But that's going to affect different things. But we want to know: are you guys? Would you guys go to a large gathering event such as a comic convention during this year? And like we mentioned earlier, this comic convention is usually slated to be the last weekend in October. It is pushed back about 2 months, about a month and a half or so. It's mid-December, but yeah, there's always a chance where the health department can come in and say, you know what, we don't feel this is right now. Let's go ahead and cancel it. But we don't know. I do know that a lot of success per se came from the past San Diego Comic Con, the virtual panels, and a lot of different companies had their own little
Yeah.
con panel, I guess you can call it. So there was like a McFarlane con, a Funko con, a
There's a con
Hasbro
for
con. There was a
everything.
con for everything, and
There was even a Mary con. You just didn't know it.
there was a Mary con as well, and that was exclusive. It was exclusive to Marys all around the world. So yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting. I actually am for it. I mean it's the situation out there is actually taking a toll on a lot of people's mental capabilities and their mental prowess, I guess you can call it. But um, yeah, I mean, Mary, do you have like any final thoughts on this stuff? We will be probably updating you guys as this story
As we get
develops.
more information, yeah.
But we were just pretty shocked to see that an email was sent out yesterday, the 27th of September, and then tickets, badges, whatever you want to call it, go on sale tomorrow. Mary, what time did they say it's just going to happen?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Pacific time. So there you go. We will be getting a LA Comic Con. So, Mary, do you have any final thoughts on how this is gonna go? I mean,
Um, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't really have high hopes, but at the same time, I really do hope that it is successful, because if it is successful, it will pave the way as far as with how any future event or any future con that we have upcoming for 2021 will be set. So if they can actually get it together and get it right, then maybe next year won't be as crazy with everyone getting cabin fever, because we'll be able to do a lot more. And this is a test, or will be a test to that. So let's just see how it goes. I personally won't be there, but I wish those who do go the best.
yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, when it comes from the health aspect, just go ahead and wash your hands, keeps the social
Or wear
distancing.
gloves.
Wear gloves, and if you're a cosplayer, that's pretty much already a done deal. But yeah, you got to ask yourself, is it worth going? And that's probably the biggest thing you want to go ahead and ask yourself. So yeah, until then, my friends, go ahead and drop a comment below. If you guys like this video, go ahead and click that like button. If you guys want to get notified on when we have new videos coming to our Geeky Ent YouTube channel, click that notification bell. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Geeky Ent. Tell your friends about us, and we will be coming to you live in an internet standpoint. I never understood that point, but yeah,
Pre-recorded.
pre-recorded,
But yeah, maybe one day we will go live. We'll see.
yeah, because when there's editing in a video, it's not really live, but we will be doing a live streams maybe soon. We don't know. That's the beauty of YouTube. It's under our discretion. So until then, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.